Hey, what's up? This is Basil Barrington here with another podcasting video. Today I am talking about Buzzsprout because that is the podcasting platform I moved to from Anchor. Now, I did post a video talking about Anchor, which is a really cool platform. I mean, it's a free platform. If you want to create a podcast and you don't want to use any money, it's a free platform. So you can just use an iPhone, connect your earbuds or your AirPods. You're good to go right there, and they have really cool apps, everything like that. It's a very cool platform. There were some features that I wanted and Anchor didn't have. But again, a great platform if you just want to start a podcast. But I wanted some more features. And I know wanting more features meant that I had to pay for a podcasting platform, a hosting platform anyway. And that's why I went with Buzzsprout. Now, about a year and a half ago, I was researching podcast hosting platforms, and it came down to Buzzsprout and Anchor. Buzzsprout has really good customer service. You send them an email, they reply in maybe 30 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. I've never received a reply that was more than 2 hours, so you got to really love that. So again, I just wanted some features that Anchor did not have. So let's go over some features that Buzzsprout does have. Okay, here we go. Buzzsprout, this is a really cool platform. And like I said, there were just some features I wanted. They have a bunch of podcasting directories you can post to. Obviously, the ones I'm really concerned with are Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I mean, they're a giant in the industry, so you really have to consider them. Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and maybe iHeartRadio. Those are the platforms I'm really concerned with. And, they have some really cool stats too. The analytics, the statistics are just really awesome. You can find out, you can do some really deep diving in terms of what your podcast is doing. You can find out, what sort of devices, people are listening to your podcast on, just a whole bunch of features. But again, Anchor didn't have that, and this is just something I wanted to do, and I just wanted to switch over, again, knowing that this is a paid platform. And they also have a free platform, but the free platform is a little interesting because it's free up to 90 days. So after 90 days, your podcasts are gone. If they're on any sort of podcasting platform, they're gone after 90 days with the free plan. So just keep that in mind. And they also have a magic mastering, which is kind of cool. I really don't need that. I am a music producer, so I can just go into my recording studio and, just do all my mastering, remove things I do not want in my podcast. So that's pretty cool. But again, if you needed that, if you were a newbie and you just wanted your podcast mastered, they can do this. That is an extra charge, so just keep that in mind. They can optimize your podcast as well, so it doesn't matter about the file types. You can just upload it and they do everything for you. But again, I do all that myself. They have really cool dynamic content here, just a whole bunch of stuff. And they also have a podcast player. And I have a lot of WordPress websites, so this integrates really well with WordPress, so that's pretty cool. One of the things that I am really loving about Buzzsprout, and it's not monetizing, which is also pretty simple and easy, but the thing that really, really just put me over the edge, the visual sound bites. Now, the visual sound bites are pretty cool. You're talking about audiograms. So, once you create a podcast, you can go in and then create a sort of audiogram, something that's maybe up to 60 seconds long, but you generally don't want to do something like that when you're posting it to Twitter or other platforms. Maybe YouTube, you want to, post something that's a little longer, but this is pretty cool. It's a free feature and you just got to love that as well. Something else I wanted was the ability to have multiple podcasts under one account. Now, the thing about this here is, yes, you can have multiple podcasts on Buzzsprout, but each podcast has to have its own payment plan. So you could use a free and then also a plan you paid for. But again, the free is going to run out after 90 days. But, if you have a very small podcast, you could do three hours. And then if you have something that's a little longer, you could do 6 hours. So that's 3 hours a month or 6 hours a month. And then you go up to 12, 18, anything like that. That's a little weird, that You can have multiple podcasts under one account, but you have to pay for each podcast. Again, not sure about that, but it is what it is. So I'm okay with that, right? So let's go into my account and just see what it looks like. Okay, so I am in my account right now, and this is the Behind the Groove podcast. This is a podcast that I do with DJ Keo. It started out as a podcast where we spoke about, DJ stuff, music stuff, industry stuff. And then we did a podcast where we spoke about, just things we were watching during the lockdown. And it kind of took off, right? So we just said, hey, you know what? We like movies and, things just come, just sort of TV and film things that come on streaming services. So we sort of migrated over to doing TV and film reviews. And, it's doing pretty well. So again, that is the Behind the Groove podcast with myself, Basil Barrington, and DJ Keo. Check it out if you can. It's a pretty cool podcast. Okay, back over to the account here. And as you can see, I have a 3-hour plan. And right now I have about an hour and 42 minutes remaining for the month. So that would be sort of 20 days. It says 20 days, just something like that. And these are all the sort of podcasts I brought over. They have a really cool tool that they just basically, you put in your Apple Podcast RSS feed URL, and they bring over all the podcasts, like the audio, everything, just the descriptions, everything. They don't bring over the statistics, the analytics, how many downloads, whatever. And that's okay, because you can then go in and sort of add numbers, to each podcast. And that could be a little tricky too, because you can inflate the numbers if you wanted to, but it is what it is. But I do like that. So if we go back over here, and then here are the podcast settings. So this is my podcast here. This is just like everything, my title, my description, my artwork. Now, the other really cool thing here is, in Anchor, you only had the ability to create one category. Well, in Buzzsprout, you have the ability to create multiple categories, which is pretty cool, up to 3. That is pretty cool. And then you also have the ability to create keywords for your podcast as well. You didn't have that ability in Anchor. Again, Anchor is a free platform. This is a paid platform. But again, those are things that I really appreciate and I was really looking forward to. And I'm okay with paying for that as well. And, they also create a website just like everyone else does, So here's a website right here. And if you go to it, here is the website, and I was able to sort of like brand it the way I want to, and it worked out pretty well. I can't, I have no complaints about that. And here are all the directories that I am listed on. Some, like, with iHeartRadio, you basically have to go and create an account, then submit your RSS feed. The rest of them, you pretty much just have to click the submit, and then Buzzsprout does all the magic for you. Here you can monetize if you wanted to. They have relationships with PodFan and affiliate marketing and sponsors and everything else. So again, that's not bad. It's pretty cool. Here are the players here. So if you wanted to integrate that in a WordPress website, you can. So that is pretty cool. And then if we go over to stats, and these are some of the stats here. Those are the last 30 days. And obviously I haven't been on this platform for 30 days. I think maybe just 2 weeks. But you can go to the last 7 days, and that's what you're seeing here. All time, you can just see what's going on, so it's not bad at all. Then you can come down and see the top apps that your podcast is being played on. Web browsers, Apple Podcasts, everything else. That is not bad at all. Gotta love that. And then if you go into your episodes, and then if I selected this here, now this is where the magic happens. If I download this soundbite, I created a soundbite for this. So I downloaded the soundbite, and here is the soundbite right here. If I played it, then you would hear it here. Let's just see if I can play it. So they get drafted. They're like, you have an enemy, go fight the enemy. And no one showed pretty cool, That is really cool. You cannot deny that. That is pretty cool. And then, you can even delete this and create another one. So that's pretty cool. And then you have the ability to just share it directly from the podcast, these specific podcast episodes. You can just share on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, right? And it's just really cool. And again, within the podcast episodes, specific episodes, you also have the ability to create tags right down here. So that is pretty cool as well. You have to love that. These are just some things that I really appreciate about, you know, a podcast hosting platform, because now you have the ability to, you know, really stretch out your podcast, you know, have that platform do a lot of the work. And then the only thing you have to do is create your podcast and then obviously do your marketing, you know, to promote your podcast. So that's pretty cool. So Buzzsprout is really a great platform. It is a paid platform, but, you know, at some point you can't go free, you know, forever, you know, because you're going to just need the tools to just like level up. So, you know, wanting and needing those tools, you probably have to pay for some sort of a podcast hosting platform like a Buzzsprout or some of these others that have some of these features as well. But again, I chose Buzzsprout because I thought for me, it worked. I think their customer service is like on point, and that's another big thing for me. You know, I don't want to send someone an email and the next thing you know, 3-4 days later, they're, you know, replying back. That doesn't help me at all, especially if I needed to take care of something immediately. So again, Buzzsprout podcast hosting platform. I love this platform, which is why I switched over. Anchor is cool. It's a free platform, but if you want to level up, you're going to have to pay for a podcasting hosting platform, and Buzzsprout did it for me. So there you have it, just a quick video. Until next time, peace.